Battling life's challenges and still coming out on top, a New York mom thought she had her future all planned out until her daughter was diagnosed with a rare neurological illness. But instead of letting it drag her down, she found a way to persevere. Thanks so much for staying with us on this Monday. I'm Tamsin Fidel.
And I'm Erin LeBeau. So most of us will encounter speed bumps in life, but it's how we handle these challenges that determines our roadmap for success. And our next guest learned that firsthand when her daughter got sick.
Yeah, that's right. And she's joining us now to talk more about that experience and how it helped her grow and thrive. Serene Noor Ali is the founder of Sleuth, a network of parents sharing stories and advice on children's health. Thanks for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Well, let's start off for people who don't know your story. Can you share with us what happened with your daughter?
Yes, I hope my story can give a glimpse of hope to anyone who's going through a hard time. I tell myself often that I've woken up and made it through 100% of my hard days. But I could still remember the moment that my daughter got a devastating diagnosis. It was 10 p.m., I was on my couch in the living room, and a report made it to her online health portal. And as devastating as that moment was, I had no idea what was coming down the pike. She had a life-changing brain surgery. She was hospitalized for several months, and even after her release, she had so many ups and downs. This time last year, she wasn't even medically cleared to eat more than 5 crumbs of food. I remember she had a big unicorn birthday cake, and all she could do was blow it out. And amidst this, we built Sleuth. We found some joy, and we've got a lot of lessons along the way.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that. But how is your daughter doing now?
She's doing great. She's doing great. She's thriving. We're building. We have a new outlook on life. And I think that's actually been such a gift for us that we wouldn't have had otherwise.
Love it.
Well, you know, it's such a life-altering event, and most of us will be forced to deal with some type of curveballs on all different levels as we grow. What are some of the universal challenges that you think people experience coming off of what you experienced?
I think that our entire world kind of gets interrupted. You know, the goals that we had, our schedule, the feelings that we contend with, they're really hard. I remember thinking I was going to build Sleuth in my nice co-working space downtown behind a desk. And instead, I was taking investor calls and trying to pitch investors for money on my cab ride back from her medical appointment to dropping her off back at school. There was one time I was in an investor meeting and I had to step out because her school called me and told me she fainted. And so, you know, with these hard times, you come up with like feelings of anxiety and fear and not knowing what to do with it. And I think as a society, we're getting better at handling hard feelings a little bit more publicly, but still a lot of us walk around with this inner world of emotions and have to fully function on the outside.
Okay, so talk a little bit about going through this health challenge with your daughter. You were able to start this amazing company, but what do you hope that people actually learn from your personal experience?
I hope that people learn that when hard things come your way, it doesn't mean you have to give up on your ambitions, your vision for life, your aspirations. In fact, this made me kind of turn my pain into purpose, and it made me even more committed to making sure there's an online destination for parents who are struggling with their kids to find something. And it's interesting, I never thought I could thrive in this instance, but not only did we build Sleuth, but we actually got funding. You know, getting funding as a woman is hard, but certainly as a person who's so public about being a mother is even harder.
Well, you know, I say reframing expectations and being flexible was really the key to moving forward for you. And I think that's so important. What's the advice you give to people so they can accept change? Because change it's not an easy one.
No, it's not. And sometimes you're forced into it, like I was, you know, kind of that very type A personality. And I was faced with this reality of like, I can't control everything. And I learned that once you let serendipity in, it yields these really beautiful things. You know, at home, we were learning how to use new medical devices and put in her G tube and like write down all her medications. But then, you know, I had this moment where I pitched President Biden on Sleuth. I got a celebrity investors. And sometimes we think that changing our expectations and our goals means that we're going to fail. But actually, I've learned that that's just another narrative that we didn't know existed for us, another story.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you sharing your story, and we definitely wish you and your daughter well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. And for more tips on getting over life's hurdles, visit Serene's website, hellosleuth.com, or follow her on Instagram or TikTok at Serene Noor Ali.